Hey, everybody out there at Gen AI University. My name is George Huang. My company is More Profit Rocket, where I help ambitious entrepreneurs, business owners, and service providers to accelerate their cash flow, amplify their impact, and ultimately put more profit in their pockets. And I want to show you a couple things before I show you what I'm doing with AI. Because about, 8 years ago, I started creating interactive experiences online. And I think of myself in many ways as an interactive design experience or interactive experience designer. What I was doing is I wanted to create this interactive experience online. So I created this site called Ungoldfish, and that's because there's this myth that um, the attention span of a human is shorter than that of a goldfish. That's not true. But I wanted to be able to attract people's attention. So I created this interactive website where visitors need to click through and go through, see a few things here. But the thing I wanted to show you is the further interactivity. I'm asking questions. And if they say no, they go to a different page. If they say yes, then we create their own adventure and they go to different pages. They're going to see different interactive elements and dynamic elements. And I ask them some questions about what they're out to accomplish. And then they keep scrolling through the page or the website. And then they're going to get to a point where I ask additional questions. And this is going to branch off. So depending how the visitor answers, they'll see different pages. So what I really was trying to do was pretend like I was there next to the person on the website and I was guiding them through. But back, 2018, we didn't have things like AI. So I had to anticipate where people would, what I would ask people and where people would go, what I wanted to show and tell them if they said answered a certain way to a question. So let's say they said maybe to this, then they would see a certain page. If they had said yes, they'd go to a different page. So here they have an option to keep learning or to stop. Right. So this is how I designed the whole website. I ended up designing maybe 2 or 3 other websites like this for clients, but it was, I think, too early for its time. So here's another example of interactivity I was building. I built this using Paperform, which is, I think, a more supercharged, turbocharged version. If you've ever heard of Typeform, I've kind of hacked Paperform to create these interactive experiences. And here you see web content. Then I ask particular questions, then have the person or the visitor click through. And then they're going to get to a point where I can show them design elements. I asked if they wanted to see examples, and here we're clicking through. But now with AI, we can make this, I think, a whole lot better. So I wanted to take you to, with that context, I wanted to show you what I've done more recently with Pickaxe. So let me make this bigger. So where I see AI going is not so much replacing humans, but I think it's really augmenting humans. I think of it as giving us greater abilities to exercise and deploy our superpowers. And so what I've been doing, I created this, I have content called visioneering. With the process I take clients through where they work through their values all the way through their guiding beliefs and their mission, their purpose, and create create their vision for their life and their business. And then we start creating business goals from there, as well as life goals. So what I did is I said, wow, I think that I could use AI to make this even better, because previously these were static questions inside of Paperform. But now what I've done, I'll give you an example. So let's do this first step, prioritizing your core values. So I've created a bot. I called my bot Lady Nastasha, because I have a sister app called Profit Stash. So you kind of get the play on words. So Lady Nastasha. And Lady Nastasha will ask questions of the visitor and then interact based on how I've created the prompt. Okay. And then once the user goes through and finalizes their list of core values, they're instructed to copy and paste their core values over to the right. So I've created all the different steps using Pickaxe and similar format. Okay, it gets a little more involved when they get to their life vision, but still, the AI is still Pickaxe. Now, you may be wondering, how do I get the images in there? So what I'm using 3 tools. One is Pickaxe, which you're seeing here. And Pickaxe is embedded in Paperform. And the reason I embed it in Paperform is 2 reasons. One, Paperform allows me to add the imagery, and then I embed the Paperform in which Pickaxe is embedded. I embed that in Notion. The other thing is that even with the Pickaxe white labeling turned on, when I embedded the Pickaxe directly into Notion, guess what? Pickaxe logo still appears. And I don't want to, I know the white labeling is if you have a studio, but I'm not trying to, having a studio here doesn't help me. So I embedded in Paperform, and since it is embedded, the logo goes away if you have white labeling turned on in Pickaxe. All right. So then I embedded this in Notion so I could quickly create a working prototype. So I created this whole system in less than 30 days. And it's a functional prototype, version 1, if you will, in Notion. And I share it with clients as a Notion template, but we're going to actually build this in a more robust platform with an actual login, and it will allow us to provide greater functionality than we can in Notion. So, but that said, it gave me the ability to quickly prototype this, get a working version, and work through and use it with clients. And I'm learning a lot of things about the user interface and the user experience from taking clients through it. And of course, I had to go through these questions myself and experience this myself numerous times. So it was valuable for me as well. So what I'm learning is by seeing clients walk through this. And what I do is I have them use the template, or they make their own copy of the template. And then I actually watch them go through it. And I'm picking up a lot of things that can be improved. Some of my clients are using or interacting with Lady Nastasha in ways I hadn't expected. And that's leading me to make changes in the prompts. But also it's identifying where we have current limitations with AI and with the way Pickaxe is designed. So I'm always looking for workarounds. Now, what's next? So I've been playing with Profit Stash and Pickaxe, and what I'm trying to do, not Profit Stash, sorry, Paperform. I've been playing around with Paperform and working with the APIs and trying to see how I can get Pickaxe to talk to Paperform and vice versa. Haven't figured that out yet. I have been trying to get the APIs to work by creating code in using Cursor, but I've not been completely successful yet. So this is the next frontier for me, because ultimately what I'm hoping I can do is use Paperform to create very nice looking forms and have the conditional logic that is available in Paperform, as well as being able to add visuals like static images, being able to add video, and then use conditional logic inside of Paperform to send the user to different pickaxes. But I'd also like the pickaxes to be able to talk to each other. So what I'm thinking could be possible is to send the information from Pickaxe to a hidden question in Paperform, and then Paperform can take that hidden information and use it in its forms, and use the information for additional questions that it might pose the user, and then feed that information back to a different Pickaxe. So I don't know how much of this is possible, but again, that's my next frontier, because what I'm trying to do really is create seamless interactive experiences. And when I'm creating, just as if I was there talking to the visitor. And that's how I think about designing interactive experiences and prompts. I think in terms of getting into the world of my user, understanding what they're trying to accomplish, what their goals and dreams and aspirations are, what their obstacles and challenges are. And then I start writing out the prompts as if I was talking to them. And so I use a combination of, actually I run 2 GPTs at the same time when I'm creating prompts. I have my chat GPT, which knows me quite well. And then I'm also running a chat GPT called Semanticraft. And I learned about that through one of the Pickaxe blogs. And so what I do is I create my prompt initially using a template that I have created in my chat GPT. And then when I'm done there, I'll copy and paste that prompt and put it into Semanticraft. And Semanticraft is designed specifically to optimize prompts. And then I'll put that prompt into Pickaxe. And then I'll start testing. And one of the common problems, even though I've kind of written this into all my prompt templates, is for the GPT to ask one question at a time. Frequently, it'll just spit out 3, 4, or 5 questions at a time. So I have to reinforce in the prompt that it is supposed to only ask one question at a time. So that's how I've been using it so far. And as far as using 2 GPTs at the same time, I'll put one chat GPT on one monitor and the Semanticraft GPT on the other monitor, and I'll flip back and forth between the two. Another way that I'm running 2 chat GPTs at the same time is I'll run the Pickaxe that's guiding, like coaching somebody through an experience. Like for instance here, if I was actually using this to create my core values, I would go through and keep asking, answering questions. Let's say we'll put Darby in here. Okay, and then once I got my responses, if it's personalized to me, I might copy and paste the responses here, or I might copy and paste the questions from here and put it in my personal chat GPT because it knows me better. And it'll help me to answer the questions that this chat GPT is asking me, in this case, Lady Nastasha. So I hope that makes sense. That's how I have dueling chat GPTs running at the same time. If that's unclear, if you want to understand more about what I'm exploring and experimenting with, please get in touch with me, or there might be a place to add comments below this video. All right, that's it for now. Again, any questions, George at moreprofitrocket.com.